There's Glozman, a little smile here
1-0.
before locking in.
Point.
It's one thing Viv Glozman's not afraid of. You know, I think she has a lot of fun out there.
2-0.
She's not afraid to laugh at herself, you know, when things aren't going right. But I think we're going to see that a couple more times here. Just laughing it off, having fun.
Would you want to be the team like DC, fresh on now in this third match of the day, or the team like Carolina, who actually played earlier this morning?
Yeah, I definitely want to be Carolina. You have one match under your belt. You're warmed up. You're ready to go. Yeah, I think that's a huge benefit.
That's your point.
But also, you know, talking about that same aspect, DC, they know that. They know they played a match. They know they have to come out hot, and so so I think they're going to be bringing the energy here.
Side out, point 3. Three, 2.
Also love this matchup. Two outstanding head coaches. You see Cal McKenzie, far side, just to the left. Tremendous pickleball mind for DC.
4-2.
And then, of course, there's Dave Fleming, orchestrator of this Carolina Pickleball Club squad. And it's had some highs and lows this year, but still, they come here with
3-4.
big expectations to Miami. Still feel like they've got unfinished business.
Side out, point 5. Five, 3.
And put away by Christian.
Yeah, Kaitlyn, she's been playing just very, very good doubles. Really powerful. She got a tennis background. And I think she's really starting to kind of find that rhythm in pickleball. And yeah, she's someone to definitely watch out for sure. I think she has a high ceiling. You know, in pickleball, it takes a little while to unlearn tennis and find your groove, but I think she's finding it.
Point.
That wind is picking up here. A little gusty. Ball is definitely being pushed down and dying a bit.
5, 6.
Oh, well done from Glozman.
Yeah, I think you're going to see that a lot from Vivian Glozman. She's on the taller side for the women, and I think she has that reach backhand flick that some of the women don't have, especially being on that right side. She can be a little more aggressive than most.
You just said it. If she becomes more aggressive and learns how to do it routinely, she could be a dominant force in the future.
Yeah, I think right side players in women and men's, I think they're all kind of they're adapting. It kind of used to be the passive player, kind of just make balls, be super consistent, and then you're setting up your partner. But now you see people like Viv Glozman, Gabe Tardio, Dylan Frazier, you know, all guys who are really kind of just buying into being that right side guy and not afraid to slide middle and use that backhand or forehand. And I think that's where the game's going.
Quick points here, as now we are tied at 8. Dave Fleming would say snowmen across the board.
8.
Great defense from DC, really just kind of being pushed back into the court as Carolina should be doing, but they did a great job of defending and just getting that ball down, just making that one ball over, especially with this wind.
And DC comes into this event here in South Florida, tied for 5th in the overall standings with the New York Hustlers. The tiebreaker, keep in mind, match win percentage and then game winning percentage. Lots to figure out here. The final days before the postseason as Christian scores. Carolina now within 1.
Yeah, you know, it's not that every match counts. It's every point. It's every game. Because if you get tied with someone there at 6-6 apiece to be in that playoffs in Dallas, it's going to come down to very, very small margins. There's that backhand flick from Vivian Glozman, not afraid to reach over into that middle. Super aggressive, really, really good presence there. Trusting her partner. Rachel also trusting her to take that backhand instead of sliding middle herself and taking the forehand.
DC Pickleball team taking a big chance on Glozman, and she is now paying dividends late in the season. 12-9 the score. It's now 12-10.
Yeah, Vivian's great asset. I think she has a high ceiling as well. I think it depends on the day for her. I think when she's more consistent and just having fun and trusting herself, that's when she's really, really dangerous.
Right in, push off the tarmac. Yates Johnson
made it here just in time. Wow, big power there by Vivian Glozman. You know, it's funny looking on the screen here. You see it is getting dark around here. We're getting socked in. Hopefully it's, one of those Florida moments where it's raining everywhere else, but here.
Kaitlyn Christian gets back in place. Brooke Buckner, her partner. Vivian Glozman so far showing out here in game 1.
Looks like Kaitlyn Christian's been struggling a bit on that side, especially when it's getting around the line area. She's missed quite a few dinks there. She's gonna have to. I think in those cases you gotta move back a little bit, give yourself a little bit more space, take the pressure off, and just hit a dead dink. Just get that ball over. Even if they're gonna speed it up, you just gotta be ready.
So Carolina trying to solve things on their side, and for DC, I love this team. We talk about star-studded ownerships. Looking at some of the names: Eva Longoria, Kate Upton, Justin Verlander, Rip Hamilton, Sean Marion, just to name a few. I mean, this has got to be the most star-studded team in the history of MLP.
I mean, it's quite the lineup for sure. We've got a lot of different team owners in Major League Pickleball. I think it's so awesome. You have Drew Brees, you have KD, you have all these guys. I mean, it's kind of just you see how popular it is. Everyone wants a piece of MLP.
DC 1 timeout. Carolina no timeouts. Time in. 16-10.
That ball moving right now, Yates. You've played in windy environments. What are the challenges?
Yeah, I think it's difficult. You're playing with a plastic ball out here. Wind is definitely a huge factor. Maybe the ball's not going to bounce as much. It's going to be pushed down to the ground. And I think the biggest key is just move your feet. You got to stay light on your feet. You can't get stuck because that ball is going to move. You just have to expect, just some adversity. You got to expect the ball to not be where you think it's going to be, and just everyone's on the same playing field. Everyone's dealing with the same thing. So the biggest thing is not complaining about it. Just kind of taking it on the chin and just rolling with it. Wow, huge drive by Brooke Buckner. I was saying that before. Her singles game is insane. She's done so well in the PPA Tour this year, winning, gosh, I believe 3, 4, 5, something like that, singles titles. She is absolutely a star.
14-17.
And so I love to see that power brought to women's doubles.
Side out, point 18.
Yeah, she just moved into number 2 seed in women's singles for the PPA Tour in the race towards the final. San Clemente.
Yep, top 8. She'll definitely be there. And not to mention, mom of 3. I mean, it amazes me all these mothers on tour, how they're able to, you know, balance the whole family and pickleball life, traveling like crazy. You know, she was traveling with her newborn, you know, for a while, and got a little older finally, and she's like, okay, I think this is the last trip. So, you know, dad's holding the fort down at home, but it's kudos to all the moms out there just able to manage it and just have this balance, still be able to compete at such a high level.
Certainly is a beautiful thing, and pickleball is almost like the perfect outlet to get away from that daily grind. So it works both ways.
Yeah.
4-point lead here for DC.
Get out there, get a sweat.
Yes.
Let out some aggression.
Just like that. So Rachel Rohrabacher, silver in Vegas
21-15.
and in Virginia Beach with Anna Bright. Won it all in Atlanta. Oh.
Side out point, 16.
She wanted all of that one. I really like this DC team. You know, Rachel is super solid. She makes a lot of dinks, a lot of drops. And I think paired with Vivian, where she's consistent as well, but she kind of brings that firepower. I'm really liking this team.
Point.
So well done by Buckner now. 17-21 as Rohrabacher gets in place.
17-21.
Rachel also has a master's degree, social work, University of South Florida.
Side out point, 22.
Wind is definitely picking up. I'd like to see Carolina, you know, maybe from Kaitlyn Christian's side, be a little more consistent, kind of fall into that right side player role, and maybe let Brooke like open it up with her forehand, let her forehand fly. And if I was Brooke, I'd maybe start, you know, speeding up a little more if I can with this wind. It's constantly moving, and so you could be kind of a little more aggressive, and just kind of see what your opponents do.
18-22.
So tough in rally scoring to make up a deficit. Carolina trying to do that right now.
Side out point,
Brooke Buckner
23.
was all over that point, leaning into the kitchen, dominating, but it did hit her hair. A little frustrating, to say the least.
And it was one of those things where everybody on the court knew it.
Yep. Yeah, there's no denying. She felt it. She knew it. Vivian Glozman did a great job there as well, of just holding her ground, expecting the ball to come back. I think that's the biggest thing in pickleball is not hitting the ball for a winner. Is you're hitting it and you gotta expect that ball to come back.
Oh.
Side out point, 24.
You know, I like that. I do like that from Brooke. You know, you gotta go to your strengths. Her strength is definitely her drive. Just a little bit unlucky there on the net.
First game point here for the DC pickleball team.
Point.
Just long.
Game
So close. Called.
Court, but
Game 2. Time
James
in.
is you know,
0-0.
definitely high energy, definitely very active.
So I asked Anderson when he was here earlier, Yates, I'll ask you, is there a formula to beat the Johns brothers, or at least fare well against them? We'll let you think about that and answer after the
1-0.
point.
Point.
You know, I think there is. I think obviously, you know, Ben's the best in the world. You know, Collin, maybe you target Collin more. He has really good defense, but you know, I'd say if you're gonna win, you gotta kind of go there. Ben is, I think, gonna beat you all day. You know, I think it really just depends as well how everyone's playing. If Dekel's playing super consistent and finding his rhythm and using his speed ups really well to Collin, I think it's going to be very dangerous. If Collin, you know, if his defense is on and he starts actually being a little more aggressive, I think it's dangerous as well. So it kind of just depends on both sides, kind of who shows up that day. And unfortunately, the Johns, they show up a lot.
Oh, they certainly do.
You know, going back to that, though, I'd say if you're going to beat them, the MLP format is the way to do it because every point counts. You know, maybe you get a couple loose errors, a couple loose returns. I think we've seen that. They've lost a little more than people maybe are used to. And I think it's maybe giving other people some hope that, you know, hey, they're human. They can lose. They do win a lot.
And sometimes they tend to be slow starters.
Yes. And that definitely, slow starts in pickleball in MLP definitely hurt you because, you know, if you get a deficit of more than 7 or 8, it's pretty difficult to get back unless, you know, I mean, you got to get hot and go and have the other team make a lot of errors, which Ben and Collin don't really do that much. So.
Point.
So Carolina out fast here in game 2. 6-2.
Point.
Collin has fine-tuned his offense here in 2024.
7-2.
Find his game. See the results.
Let's call. Call is out. Side out. Point 3. Challenge. Confirming challenge. Confirming your alcohol. Referee timeout. We have a challenge of the alcohol. The alcohol puts us at side out. 3-7. Now proceed to video review.
So another forehand splitting the middle.
Miami, make some noise if you saw that ball in.
This one looks like it's in. Half on the line.
Make
Definitely
some noise
touching.
if you saw it out.
I'll just say it's so nice to have close call replay back in
Who
effect
wasn't paying
here in Miami.
attention?
Oh yeah, it's definitely nice as players to, you know, have that to fall back on. You see a lot in pickleball in this format. So the rule is you have to make the call, right? You can't you know, not make it and go to the ref and challenge your own call. You have to make it and have the opponents challenge it. So which is what happened here. James looked like he was a little, you know, unsure, but you know what? I'm going to call it out, and you're free to challenge it if you want. But it's great system to have, super accurate.
The call on the court is overturned. Ball is in. DC Pickleball Club, you lose 1 free challenge. You have 2 remaining. Carolina, you have 3 free video challenge remaining. We'll resume play at 8-2. Time in. 8-2.
So when they have challenged today, Carolina is 2 for 2. Got a call overturned earlier this morning as well.
He almost had that one. Wow. See, so I think what we're seeing from Collin here, he's making a lot of dinks, being super consistent, but he's actually, you know, he's ready to pull the trigger, ready to be a little more aggressive. And I think that's when he can be dangerous.
Dekel Bar pumped up, trying to pump up the crowd as well.
4-8.
Who's going to pull the trigger? There it is. Wow. Right on cue. He dropped that paddle. straight down to the ground. Looked like maybe he was going to hit another dink, maybe a topspin dink, but great disguise from James Ignatowich.
Rachel Rohrabacher loves it. One more look.
Side out point.
You know, and going back to this DC team, I think if anyone's going to take out the Johns, it can be Dekel. You know, him and Matt Wright took the Johnses out in Dallas PPA, and Hunter Johnson and him, my brother, they split in Virginia. So he's great friends with the Johnses. He knows their games front and back, as do they. But if Dekel gets hot and James follows, I think they can squeeze one out here.
Yeah, Dekel has worn so many partners. Zane Navratil, another. You mentioned your brother. One of the most popular men's partners that there is. Nice get from Collin. Well played.
Point.
Man, I love, you know, when you see Ben doing that, where he's leaning into the kitchen line, he's super balanced. That's not a spot that you want. He's coming after you.
Side out point 7.
It's a great spot by Dekel. Dekel's definitely one of the taller guys on tour. I think he's super dangerous because he can kind of reach into that kitchen and take a lot of balls out of the air, and that it kind of really deceiving. You're not really sure if he's going to speed up, if he's going to dink. He's really good at just kind of deceiving his opponents.
12-7. Side out point 8.
Ben a little frustrated at himself, and now a 12-8.
12.
Game 2. Oh, Ignatowich wants that one back because he hits it into the net. So 13-8 productive at each event.
Point.
Wow, Ben, it's amazing. Ben is just all over it. Like, he could be sitting backhand, and he just switches that forehand so quick.
14-8.
Also, I'd love to see, you know, he usually slices that backhand dink and kind of manipulates it, and he's actually been, you know, what I've been seeing is using his two-handed roll a lot more, and it's super deceiving. He's able to get a lot of angle on it, but also able to speed it up whenever he wants.
Lead is swelled now to 7. Semi-Ernie that time.
Rachel Rohrabacher on the sideline, letting him hear it.
9-15. Point.
Ooh, wow, right in the neck of Collin Johns. Dekel Bar was all over that one.
Rachel making her presence felt. Collin, not afraid to take one for the team. And there's Ben emphatically.
16.
I think that's a little bit of a statement there.
16-10.
This is how you put a ball away.
And again, geez, he is. I mean, he just, you know, but I think it just depends on the day. It kind of depends on how everyone's feeling and how they're meshing.
Side out,
And I
point
think you made
11.
a point that, yeah, the two other players on the team have to feed off your energy. It's got to flow throughout the team, and it just has not always done that this year.
Yeah, I think MLP, it's all about team. It's all about being a good teammate. I think maybe that's lacking a little bit for Carolina sometimes. Just kind of everyone engaging, even when you're not playing, get up there, be cheering for your teammates. I mean, Ben's great in singles, mixed and doubles. Collin struggles in mixed sometimes. It kind of just depends on what day he's going to show up. But I mean, they're very, very, very dangerous team. It just kind of depends on if all four of them are clicking at the same time.
18-12. Point 13.
I think James was expecting that to come at his chest. I think he's a little relieved there. That could be a slight momentum changer for DC if they can capitalize here.
Misfire there. DC starting to chip away.
That ball barely landed on the line. I think Dekel was watching it.
14,
But
18.
great way to sneak in. Great hands, great counter there at the end.
Can they continue to rattle the Johns brothers?
Point.
And I think right now they're doing just that.
Ben maybe expecting there a little more room from his brother. Collin coming in thinking that he was going to take that. Wow. And he answers back.
4 straight points for DC Pickleball team. They're right back in it.
18.
What did I say before about little momentum changer here?
Side out, point 19.
Get into a dink fest with the Johns. Most of the time, it's not going to end in your favor.
Yeah, Dekel definitely wanted that one back. He was finding his groove there.
19-16.
Just barely missing that. Sometimes it's such small margins, especially when you're dinking at the net.
Side out,
You know, it's
point
funny because on
17.
TV it looks a lot slower, dinking but when you come out here and you're playing it or you're watching it, you realize, how small of a margin is. You can't, if you leave the ball 2 inches too high, that ball's getting crushed right at your chest. So super, super small margins here. It's almost like playing chess. Every dink is a chess piece moving.
Oh, they got him. Ignatowich with the final say there. They're within 1.
It's a great location. Earlier on the match, James got a couple speed ups down the line, and that's kind of where you're playing the chess game. Is here later on in the match. You take note of that, and this time he went middle. Ben was maybe covering backhand there, and he got him quite nicely there.
Oh, tagged.
Talk about using your reach there. Dekel Bar just leaning in, using his long stature. And like I said before, he takes those dinks out of the air, and he sped up this one. It's super, super deceptive because it looks like he's going to hit another dink.
Quick hands from Dekel just out. It's 20-19 in favor of Carolina, but what a comeback.
What a shift.
2019.
What an answer. Ben looking a little frustrated there, kind of giving the eye to Collin, kind of saying, you know, that's my ball in the middle. Don't go for that. You got to slide. There it is.
21.
Exactly what I was just talking about. You know, Collin is super, super good. If he's kind of to that right, Ben likes to take a lot of court. I think if you give him a little more space, sit on that backhand, execute it perfectly there.
So this is the best men's doubles match we've had so far today. Another point for Ben Johns and Carolina, and it's a 22-20 game right now.
Yeah, you know, Dekel's gotten Ben a couple times, you know, on those speed ups, but he's answered back pretty nicely with those counters. You definitely got to be a little more careful on when and where you're going with that.
And Collin Johns again ready for it.
Yeah, another one from Dekel. I like the speed up, but maybe a little premature. I think you're going to Collin Johns' strength there. So you definitely maybe gotta, you know, go opposite side of Ben, or maybe a little more on the right side of Collin Johns. Great speed up right down the middle. Unbelievable. And right at the perfect time, too.
21-23.
Oh, right down the pipe. DC very much still in it.
Wow. Oh, and absolutely robbed by the net there. You know, it's funny, Collin Johns gets mad when the lets go against him, but this was not one of those times for sure.
And now game point here. Oh, a little mix-up that time, and it's the Johns brothers, 25-21.
Yeah, DC. Right. I mean, it's funny talking to, you know, someone like Jeannie Bouchard. She came in, she's like, I'm trying to find a coach. You know, like I need a coach in pickleball, and they're just not that many, right? It's not as common, you know, as tennis, let's say. I think a lot of it you can kind of figure out yourself, but as it's getting more competitive and the level is really, really rising, everyone's getting so good. You know, it sometimes you need that, you know, different perspective from a different voice.
So we've got Rachel Rohrabacher, James Ignatowich against Ben Johns and Brooke Buckner. Interesting to see Ben Johns coming out here for game 3 in the first match of the day. Last time Carolina played, he came out in game 4. Let Collin come out for the first mixed.
Yeah, you know, I'm not quite sure what his thinking is. I think sometimes it's maybe how he's feeling. If he wants a break, if he you know wants to protect that 4th game, or you know give his team a lead in that 3rd one. But either way, I think they're confident in their Dream Breaker singles team. So I think if he can just come out here, get a win, and if they lose the 4th one, they lose it, and they go to singles.
Point 2. 2, 3. Point.
And that would sails on Rohrabacher.
3, 3.
I love that point. Brooke Buckner was being super aggressive on those dinks, kind of flattening them out. Big target, right on that kitchen line. But too good by Rachel, setting that up, pushing her out wide, and setting up James for that Ernie.
Ignatowich taking an extra moment here. And a 4-3 lead for DC.
Side out, point 4.
James was coming in hot. Just not quite there. A little bit out of reach.
4, 4.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's just the way Ben's able to reach like he does, speed up like he does. You saw that James has a really good backhand counter, but you know he's just sitting there with the back on the backhand again, and just, I mean, it's very impressive. Very, very fast twitch.
5.
Tied at 5s now. Ignatowich to serve.
Points.
James Ignatowich, born and raised in Darien, Connecticut. Rachel Rohrabacher
6-5.
currently calls Tampa, Florida home.
Side out, point 6.
A little ambitious. Good eye there by Ben Johns, getting out of the way on that one.
6, 6.
How much do you think Buckner's going to be targeted in a match like this?
Yeah, I think quite a lot. You know, when you're playing against someone like Ben Johns, the best in the world, you're trying to have him touch as little balls as possible, the least amount of balls. Do not let him try to take anything out of the air, any dinks. But I like how aggressive Brooke Buckner's being right now with her dinks, really pushing them.
Side out, point 7.
Being super aggressive. And I think I think maybe she's got to, instead of getting in a rhythm with Rachel, I think maybe start testing James a little bit more, kind of get them out of the rhythm.
There it is.
Side out, point 8.
You know, because when you have someone like Ben Johns on your side, I think you can get away with speeding up down the line. He's covering the middle very well with his forehand. And maybe start testing James Ignatowich, you know, on that right hip.
Point.
Now, rare misfire from Johns. Another point here for DC, and they lead by 2.
9, 7.
move by James Ignatowich. Rachel Rohrabacher setting that up perfectly, getting it right at the feet of Brooke Buckner.
If DC can take this mixed match looking awfully good,
Yeah.
Dekel Bar and Vivian Glozman on deck.
Yeah, if they do this, I think it's very, very dangerous with Dekel coming up.
There it is.
And, you know, Carolina is definitely in need of some points here. They're right at that right behind that 6th position, trying to get in that playoff contention. The top 6 for for Dallas coming up next weekend. They definitely need to try to win in regulation to get those 3 points.
Point.
And another point here. DC is absolutely rolling right now. That's 5 in a row.
Yeah, they are finding some rhythm here. They're finding some momentum. Let's see if they can keep riding it,
12-7.
especially on this switch coming up.
Side out, point 8.
That'll break the string. Rachel Rohrabacher, fierce competitor, especially with Anna Bright.
8-12.
And there's Ignatowich taking more chances in those gambles. MajorLeaguePickleball.net. So much to look forward to in MLP here the rest of the way as we continue this game 3.
Point.
It's a great speed up by James Ignatowich there. I think that's the key right now is, you know, try to find a couple dinks here and there. And, you know, I like that speed up down the line.
Point.
And just, you know, Brooke is more than capable of covering it. You definitely got to be careful. She's got a nice backhand slide. But, you know, I think you just keep keep testing it and see if she can hold her own.
All of a sudden, 2 yeeks. Ben Johns looks human. What's been the difference here in this 3rd game?
Yeah, you know, I think it really is just momentum. I think it's rhythm. I think DC has caught fire a little bit, and they've just really used that. And maybe a little frustration on Ben's part. You know, a couple points not going their way, a couple net chords. You know,
16-9.
I think he's just got to reset and find that next gear that he's good at.
Also have to realize the fact this is professional pickleball. The other team's going to have their runs, right?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, pickleball is all about momentum. You know, every single point counts, and sometimes, you know, that's why we have timeouts in this sport, because, you know, 5, 6, 7 points can sometimes just slip away from you. Just, you know, nothing really you can do about it.
Oh, there, just putting out everything right now.
That's what I was talking about a little bit before is Brooke, you know, that dangerous backhand she has. She showed it there, but way too good a defense from James Ignatowich, really just getting that extra ball over the net.
It's all Ben just kind of turned before Rachel even struck that ball.
Yeah, that's one of those balls you kind of know. I mean, there's not a lot you can do. You know, just got to protect that money maker and turn around.
Side out, point 18.
Rachel Rohrabacher doing a great job there of kind of backing up off the line, giving herself some space, giving herself some time. Brooke Buckner is doing a great job of hitting a little bit more aggressive dinks.
18-11.
Got a little bit lucky there when Ben crossed, just barely missing it.
Side out, point 12.
I going to be pretty confident to say these, next 5 to 6 points. I think Ben is going to try to really ramp it up and start, not really dinking. I think he's going to start pulling the trigger here a little bit more.
Yeah, it's got to be that time. Ignatowich takes it out of the air. Do you think now perhaps Carolina maybe looking back on that decision to throw Ben out there in game 3, maybe should have saved him for game 4? I know hindsight's always 20/20.
Yeah, it's a tough decision. I think it's all about matchups as well.
Sure.
How you feel you can play against your opponents and just kind of the other teams. You kind of just have to look at it and balance it, and you just have to make a game time decision and just be confident in that. But it's funny in pickleball, right? Like there could be this really, really good guy who's beaten everyone, but against one guy, maybe just a different style. Just that's the one they struggle with. So I think it's all about it's all about matchups and who you're playing against and if the styles match up or not. I know. I'm sorry. I know there's players on tour that I really don't like to play, and there's definitely some players that I do like to play a little more.
Carolina now striking range within 4. Trailed by as many as 7 here in this game 1.
Wow.
Ignatowich again. He is right now very opportunistic.
What a move. That's one of those balls that ball is flying out, but great location tagging Ben right in the shoulder there.
2015.
That was not an easy Ernie. The ball was very, very low. And I think James Ignatowich is the one who's not looking human right now. He is absolutely catching fire.
21-15.
Dave Fleming looking on. Keep in mind, Ignatowich lives in nearby Boca Raton, so it's kind of like a home match for him. Short drive over.
Yeah, right in his backyard. Wow.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. James Ignatowich. I think he had everything in that point. Defense, offense. I mean, he just took over.
22-15.
Little flick of the wrist, that backhand roll.
That was a statement right there. James is looking really, really good right now. He's being super aggressive, covering a lot of court, but you got to give a lot of credit to Rachel Rohrabacher as well. She's doing a great job of just being super solid, doing her job, making a lot of balls and setting James up.
I don't think lobbing's such a good idea right now.
Yeah, not quite the decision you want to do, especially against Ben Johns with that overhead.
17.
Little tricky with the wind as well.
Right back at you.
Great little flick by James, able to get that ball down to the ground, down to Ben's feet, setting up Rachel with that put away. Mitchell Rohrabacher. My goodness.
And the 1-2, the combinations from Ignatowich and Rohrabacher have just been deadly.
24-17.
She did a great job of moving back on those dinks, giving herself space. Great recovery after that speed up.
Game point here. And
Game.
there it is. 25-17.
High ball, he's going to crush. Same with Viv. She's got some great reach. She's playing amazing. I think that Carolina's really going to have to show up here and kind of make a lot of balls. And Collin's really got to step up and be the aggressor this match.
Point. One zero. Side out, point one.
Great eye there by Vivian Glozman.
1-1.
Wow. The Players is taking over. Collin Johns, all he can do is laugh. Good buddies.
2-1.
And he's laughing for sure. It's so funny. These guys, they know each other's strengths. They know each other's weaknesses.
Yep. They have played against each other a lot. They've practiced together a lot. They're very, very good friends. They definitely know, the strengths and weaknesses and how to maybe like push each other's buttons.
Dekel Bar, native of Israel.
3-2.
Got his United States visa 2021, wants to be a citizen, and he will one day. Collin Johns climbs the ladder, brings it down.
Side out, point three.
Yeah, definitely don't want to be lobbing right now, especially in the middle like that. Got to be careful with this wind as well. Ball is moving.
Point.
Little scorpion action.
Somehow Collin was able to squeeze out of that one. Dekel was all over that counter, but Collin protecting his face and it paying off.
4-3. Side out, point four.
I think they're going to try to, I would say, target
4-4.
Kaitlyn as much as possible. Get Collin out of any type of rhythm that he may get. And that'll expose any openings for sure.
5-4.
Wow.
Point.
Able to just catch the line there. Collin
7-8.
wants another explanation. This could potentially be a challenge. No, they decide to play on.
6-4.
What a drive from Dekel Bar there. Wasn't hard, but it was placed well.
Point.
And Yates, I know you know what it feels like. You just have that moment where you're just playing free. You're just taking chances. And it just
7-4.
looks like that right now for DC, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean it looks like they're in their flow state. They're flowing nicely. They've got a great rhythm. Looks like they have a great strategy as well. And it's getting dangerous because once you start creeping away in this scoring format, once you get to around 7 or 8
8-4.
or 9, it really kind of starts getting really tough to come back.
Side out, point 5. Five, 8. Point.
And that one goes long, so point for Carolina. If you're Collin Johns, you have to kind of be the alpha here. You got to kind of take over things.
6-8.
Yeah, he's a really, really good right side guy. He's fallen into that role with his brother Ben. But he's definitely got to switch make that switch in your mind. Now you're left side guy. You gotta dominate. You gotta take over.
9-6.
You gotta try to be as big of a presence as you can.
Oh, look at that ball move with the wind.
Side out, point 7.
Throws Glozman off just enough.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with Viv is decision making here.
7.
Just make a lot of balls, be super consistent,
7-9.
and wait for that right ball. That's what they've been doing to get this lead. Carolina creeping back here.
8-9. Side out, point 10.
Carolina gives it back.
Carolina gets a victory here. We'll go to Dream Breaker.
10,
DC
8.
wins. It'll be all over.
Let or recall. 10-8.
Another winner for Big D.
And I think this is a big match for DC as well. They're currently in the 5th standings, tied with New York Hustlers. I think getting 3 points here for their team in regulation is going to be huge. Moving forward, trying to move up and solidify their spot in that top 6 to make the playoffs in Dallas next week.
9-11.
Collin Johns a little frustrated there. He wanted that one back. Set it up nicely.
Right there for him. And into the net goes Christian. So 13-9. And we go to the break. The Edward Jones MLP Miami, Drew Felios and Yates Johnson. Entire Pickleball TV crew bringing this one to you. Dekel Bar picks up right where he left off. See, we got Miami and Atlanta. Head to Challenger. That's coming up next. Following the conclusion of this one. Definitely want to stay with us.
Side out, point 10.
Just a little unlucky there on the net.
2 ball.
Carolina will take it.
Just got a little tap on the shoulder. Our good friend Stephen Waters in the house.
10-14.
New Jersey Fives and his daughter Anna Lee will take the court tomorrow. And our
Side out,
third
point
match of the day.
15-10.
Wow, that was in.
Side out, point 11.
Oh, wow. Big serve from Dekel. That return looked like it was sailing, but that
11-15.
barely pushed it in on the line. Wow.
Side out, point 16.
DC happy to get that one. That thing was absolutely roasted.
Oh, Collin, little tap.
Point.
Not going to make it over. The Kaitlyn Christian saying, come on, come on.
17-11.
Definitely got to be careful here with this score, letting it slip away.
Side out, point 12.
It's definitely not the spot. Dekel knew it. I would have said
12.
the best spot there is to the left side of Collin Johns. He was sitting on that forehand pretty hard.
Side out, point 18. 18-12.
Tensions rising here as DC starts pulling away.
And an easy put away right now. It looks like a formality.
It's almost
19-12.
DC is almost putting the dagger in here.
Side out, point 13.
Just long off the paddle of bar.
13-19.
Oh, how about the winner?
You know, certain shots like that, I mean, that can turn a match.
14-19.
You know, it's all about momentum here. Let's see if Carolina can kind of ride that.
Point 20.
And just like you said, Yates, they are just free swinging right now. All the confidence is there. The swag is there, and they are looking like a playoff team, every bit of it.
20-14.
Yeah, Collin's looking over at his bench like, what are we supposed to do here? DC hasn't really made many mistakes.
Point.
Another speed up encounter that doesn't go Collin Johns' way. Dekel Bar doing a good job of defending that.
Side out,
I love
point
Dekel going for
15.
the serve, too. One of the most lethal serves in the game.
Yeah, given the score, I'm not too worried about that one.
Yep.
15-21. Point.
So deficit is 5. Carolina not
16-21.
out of this just yet.
Great hands by Dekel Bar and the finish for Viv Glozman. Unbelievable.
Great stuff. Come on.
So Glozman playing tremendous.
22-16.
Viv did a great job there. She was sitting back, defending, but she saw Dekel get that bar down,
Side out, point.
and she
17.
stepped up to that kitchen line with a nice speed up.
Kaitlyn Christian
Got the ball.
looking on here. Time running out on the Carolina Pickleball Club.
Yeah. 17-22.
Carolina will play once again tomorrow on Grandstand, as they've got the LA Mat drops to deal with.
18-22.
4-point game.
Side out, point 23.
DC now 2 away.
23-18.
Great point all around.
Rachel Rohrabacher, head cheerleader, Rachel Rohrabacher here in this match. It is match point, first match point here. Vivian Glozman
24-18.
and Dekel Bar trying to put it away.
Side out, point 19.
A little ambitious there, speeding up in the middle.
19-24. Side out.
I don't think Viv was expecting to hit that one, but she was ready.
24-19.
Found herself right next to the post. Put away position.
Side out. Point
Too much
20.
of it.
I like that speed up. Very calculated. Great speed. You don't always have to speed up at 100%. I think some of the best speed ups are at 70.
24.
And it really allows you to get ready for that next ball.
Kaitlyn Christian answers again. So right now DC in the freeze. They've let 2 match points get away, and the lead has been trimmed to 3.
21-24. Side out.
Great move by Dekel Bar. Good communication between him and Viv. I like that dink behind Collin Johns from Vivian Glozman.
24-21.
So Carolina Yates, they fought off 2 match points. Can they do it again here and stay alive? Yes, they
Side
will.
out. Point 22.
See, this is where it starts getting really tense, really tight in MLP. You know, that freeze at 24, it really doesn't leave, you know, it's leaves a little bit of room for your opponents to sneak back if it doesn't go your way here and there. And every time you get that ball back, it's just a little more pressure to close that match out because you know that the trailing team is coming on your heels.
4th match point. Oh.
Unbelievable finish.
Miami, as the DC Pickleball team takes down Carolina Pickleball Club by a final count of 3-1. Dekel Bar and Vivian Glozman now in the winner's circle. And Dekel, will start with you. Anytime you're taking on a hungry Carolina team with the Johns brothers on the other side and company, it's always going to be a tough out. What do you think was the key to the match overall?
Yeah, for sure. I got some of the best players in the world, so it's always going to be tough. They're a great team. Yeah, I think the key was the first mixed match that they got us the advantage and the chance to close it out. So great job to James and Rachel for putting us in a great position.
Yeah, I mean, great match, guys. Vivian Glozman, I would say you made some of the fewest errors out of anyone today on the court. What are you feeling out there, in this match?
Oh, I'm always nervous. My team is a bunch of superstars, so I'm just trying to keep up with them. They exude so much confidence, so I just try to be the best teammate I can be.
Yeah, and you were absolutely awesome today, Viv. And guys, just tell us about the experience, what it's been like suiting up for DC this year. I just have visions of New York in my mind, all the celebrities there greeting you guys, your celebrity ownership. You know, every time you step on the court with Kyle McKenzie also as your head coach, you've got to perform, right?
Yeah, for sure. We got a great team, great ownership, great crowd. So, yeah, always trying to do our best and get the W.
All right, what do you envision the rest of the weekend, Vivian? Now, you guys have still got a road here towards the postseason.
Yeah, I think our main goal is just to get that 4th spot, I believe. If we do really good, we could maybe push 3. But I think all the teams out here are hungry. They're fighting for something. So just to come out with a lot of energy for every match is the key.
Okay, Dekel Bar, Vivian Glozman, guys, congratulations. We will see you later on here in Miami. Have a great rest of this event.
Thanks, guys.
So DC Pickleball team takes care of business. And when we come back, Miami Pickleball Club, the home team in the house, and the Atlanta Bouncers will switch gears from Premier to Challenger. You're watching Edward Jones, MLP Miami on Pickleball TV.